Welcome back to Speaker's Corner, and once again it is getting quite a lively program. I'm hoping you're enjoying it. One of the reasons we did this in English tonight is, as we said, we were concentrating on the British-born Kashmiris in this country, and that's why we thought we'd do a program in pure English, so therefore get the youngsters involved a bit more. Ishtiaq Sahab, I think you weren't given the opportunity to talk about Kasser Sahab obviously explained in Urdu. Perhaps you'd like to have your words in English about what the caller was saying about we always saying that Pakistan should leave occupied areas of Kashmir and not mentioning India. Do you think that's the case?
No, I mean, I think the caller was saying that in terms of, why do we have an issue with the Azad Kashmir, inverted commas, question should be, is it Azad? It's Azad by name. The reality is it's not. It is occupied territory. It's got 400,000-500,000 army personnel on the line of control. India has nearly 700,000, maybe close to 1 million. So, how can it be Azad? It's got such stringent rules in the background that does not allow people to address their views freely. You discuss.
So are you trying to say that the Kashmiris in the so-called Azad Kashmir do not have that free will, as, say, for example, we have here in the United Kingdom, for example, to air out grievances to the proper authorities to get something done about that? Are you saying that does not happen in Azad Kashmir?
Well, absolutely. I mean, you had one or two programs recently where you discussed the 1974 Act, whereby you have to sign a declaration to say Kashmir.
Sorry, I must interrupt you again. We have Siddiq Saab on the line from Glasgow. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, Siddiq Saab.
वालेकुम सलाम सर, क्या वो हमारे कश्मीरी बहन भाई जिन्होंने पाकिस्तानी पासपोर्ट हासिल कर लिए हैं, क्या उन्होंने पाकिस्तान की नेशनैलिटी और पाकिस्तान की सिटीजनशिप हासिल करके ये फैसला नहीं कर लिया कि कश्मीर पाकिस्तान का हिस्सा है? और दूसरा सवाल ये है, I am just quoting, sir. I am just quoting.
Are you finished? Can I speak now?
No, my second question is just very short question.
Yes, of course.
I am just quoting कि एक कश्मीरी भाई एक प्रोग्राम में कह रहे थे कि गिलगित बल्तिस्तान ने पाकिस्तान के साथ इल्हाक कर लिया था।
Right.
और फिर इंडिया कहता है कि महाराजा कश्मीर ने इंडिया के साथ इल्हाक कर लिया था। आज अगर पाकिस्तानी फौज निकल जाती है तो वो इंडिया फौरन कश्मीर पर कब्जा कर लेगा और आपको क़यामत तक के लिए गुलाम बना लेगा।
Okay, thank you very much, Siddiq Saab, for your call. Inshallah, I will go to our next caller and then I'll discuss what Siddiq Saab said. The next caller, assalamu alaikum, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Very good evening to you, sir. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Dr. Ijaz.
Sorry, Dr. Ijaz Saab, ji, welcome.
In my opinion, Kashmir problem is a British legacy and due to unfair division of Indian subcontinent, when they left India in 1947. But my, question for today's topic is that this problem exists over there in Indian subcontinent. How can it be solved from here,
Okay, so you'd like to ask our panel how they feel that that's a problem. Thank you very much, Dr. Ijaz Saab, for your call. We have another caller online. Who are you speaking to? Mohammed Rafiq Saab. Ji, welcome, Mohammed Rafiq. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, sir.
Ji, what would you like to say?
I just wanted to make one or two points on this subject. Kashmir has regards. People keep saying, it should be part of Pakistan, it should be part of India. When India was divided, it should have been part of Pakistan because the Muslim areas went to Pakistan.
Yes.
Hence, does not anybody know that Kashmir, even through the British Raj, almost of 100 plus years, Kashmir was never part of India.
Thank you very much for your call. Inshallah, we'll discuss that as well. Thank you. Right, gentlemen, three more questions. I'd like to get on to Dr. Ijaz Saab's question, which I think is pertinent. What he was saying is the Kashmir issue is literally a struggle in the Indian subcontinent. How or why do you feel that the British Kashmiris should get involved?
Well, he didn't say that. What he said was, how can you solve the problem from
Well, his
here?
words were solving.
Well,
yes.
it's the same way how he can ask me a question by sitting in his house.
Yes.
We're in the 21st century. How can I explain it even more? They can sit on a computer and make drones fly all over the place.
I think Ishtiaq Saab is dying to get him. Perhaps we'll let him have a go and see if we can.
I mean, this relates back to the topic for the evening, about the contribution that the Kashmiri community in the UK can make, and that is the lack of contribution that is, in essence, not helping the cause. The point is there's a million, close to a million Kashmiri expats living in the UK. Surely there's got to be extremely intelligent people out there who can get together and form think tanks and actually move forward, press the British government, like Kasser said earlier on.
In a diplomatic fashion.
Of course. And like Kasser said earlier on, why shouldn't Britain play a role? It left a legacy, like one of the callers says. If it wasn't for Britain leaving Kashmir in the manner that, today you probably find that we Kashmiris would be living in Kashmir, because Kashmir would be one and would be leading our life comfortably without having to feel a minority in this country.
I think we're getting quite a few calls again tonight. Ji Mohammad Rafiq Sahab, Assalamu alaikum, good evening to you.
वालेकुम सलाम सर जी सर मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि आप ये कश्मीर की हिस्ट्री की जो बात कर रहे हैं
जी,
या कि जो बहुत से लोग शक में हैं कि कश्मीर पाकिस्तान का हिस्सा होना चाहिए, क्योंकि जब इंडिया डिवाइड हुआ था तो मुसलमान इलाके कश्मीर पाकिस्तान के साथ जाना था, लेकिन क्या आम लोगों को ये भी मालूम है कि कश्मीर वो जो ब्रिटिश राज था ओवर 100 years, उनमें कश्मीर कभी इंडिया का हिस्सा नहीं था, वो एक इलादा स्टेट थी।
सर जी, कश्मीर अगर इंडिया का हिस्सा था या पाकिस्तान का हिस्सा था, वो 50 साल पहले की बात है। आज हम ये डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि कश्मीर अभी जो है ना चाइना का हिस्सा, पाकिस्तान का हिस्सा, इंडिया का हिस्सा, और जो थोड़ा सा उन्होंने जो है ना तोहफा दे दिया, जी ये आज़ाद है, वो उसकी हम डिस्कस करें कि जो यहाँ के जो मेरी उम्र के लड़के हैं, जो मुझसे यंग लड़के हैं, उन्हें कश्मीर से क्यों नहीं मोहब्बत, उन्हें कश्मीर का क्यों नहीं पता, वो कश्मीर के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं। अगर बार बार जो है ना लोग आके हमें हिस्ट्री बताएंगे, हिस्ट्री उस वक्त में पैदा ही नहीं हुआ था।
No, I think you misunderstood. What the gentleman was saying was he was reiterating the fact that it does not belong. Yes, but what he's saying is the Kashmir never ever belonged to India or Pakistan.
It doesn't matter whoever
at the time of separation.
The point is today it belongs to India, it belongs to Pakistan, and it belongs to China.
Well, no, it doesn't belong.
No,
that's
it
why
does
you're wrong.
belong to them.
It's occupied. There is a difference between occupation and I mean, that's for example. I cannot let you say that because it's not occupation. It's occupation.
Whether they belong there or they occupied it, or like Israel, they're settling in Palestine. However you look at it, they're there. It's not their country, and they're there.
Right.
Okay, they've settled there.
So your bottom line is that they should not be there.
In 2013. The point is, India's there, Pakistan's there, China's there, and they are doing their own tyranny in their own way. Okay, and what are we going to do about it? Being in Britain, being blessed by Allah, being in this country, having the education that I have, having the job that I have, having the resources that I have, and the freedom that I have to speak how I can speak, okay, what are we going to do in this country? And so if everyone is watching, if they make the questions regarding to that, then maybe it would be a bit better, because the history, like I said, I wasn't born then.
Okay.
So
I think Ishtiaq Sahab is trying to get in.
I think one of the parallels that we can bring to Kashmir, in the UK in particularly, is that parallel would be Palestine as far as I'm concerned. You have a lot of Kashmiris particularly who empathize with the Palestinian cause. Now, why is it that the same Kashmiris cannot empathize with their homeland, where the roots are? You bear in mind, we in Kashmir, or the Kashmiri cause...
Would you again be going to, referring back to the lack of education of the Kashmiri youth in this country about their own country?
If I finish the point off, we nearly had close to 100,000 Kashmiris either dead or missing over a period of 2 decades, give and take. Now, more people know more about Palestine. They contribute towards the Palestine in more ways than one. You know how many people have died in Palestine since 2000? Just to give you a figure, 6,829. Now, balance that up. And you think, why is it that people are more empathy?
Again, it comes back to who do you blame? I mean, you cannot blame the youth of Kashmir origin that live in the United Kingdom. The blame has to go back to the elders again, who did not inform their youngsters of their origins. Is that where you clearly want to place the blame?
No, not necessarily, because the reality is, right, how much do the parents know? What is it that they can teach? If they don't know, they're not going to teach the kids.
Right.
The reality is down to the people who take responsibility for the cause of the Kashmir. I.e., you mentioned 14 parties. What are they doing? Why aren't they uniting together? Why aren't they putting some forums together? Why aren't they getting together and say, right, you know, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and feed that message across to people?
Okay, so basically, it's all these. I shall put them under the umbrella of independence-seeking parties.
Ideology.
And the ideology they have there. So they've not done enough to inform the youngsters. Although, as I'm sure you know, and we've seen many times, they've had thousands of meetings over the past 2 decades in this country alone about Kashmir. But they've gone on in their Urdu speeches and talked about Kashmir in their old times, and that's it. Nobody's actually taught about the way forward. So you partly blame it there. What I also want to get onto is a number of the callers have mentioned the fact about with the separation between from the British Raj, that the Pakistanis were supposed to be like a Muslim country and the Indians were supposed to be a Hindu country. Now, and I'm sure you'd agree with me here, as we all know, with Kashmir in particular, I think it dates back to maybe the 13th century, where Muslims and Hindus lived together in not quite utopia, but Kashmir was a completely secularized state. Why is it, do you feel, that some people are saying it should be a Muslim country and some people are saying it should be, obviously a lot of the Indians are saying it should be a Hindu state? Is that any relevance at all, in your opinion, with religion in regards to Kashmir?
Absolutely not. As far as I'm concerned, Kashmir is an issue that belongs to Muslims, Sikhs, and Pandits in particular, any Buddhists, any other religion that's concerned. Kashmir is for the Kashmiris, simple as that. Blaming religion and being marginalizing the ethnic community there is absolutely wrong. I don't think the focus should be on the religion at all. It has to be a united front. We need to unite as a Kashmiris and fight that cause.
Kasser, I think you wanted to.
I think Mr. Ishtiaq is 100% correct in what he's saying. It's got nothing to do with religion. You were talking about the independence of Pakistan and India, and we were all Indian. Although that's another topic altogether. But at the moment there's more Muslims.
It's not our topic tonight, but I just want to mention because the caller said that.
At the moment there's more Muslims in India than there is in Pakistan, and if you read the history of how it was all made, Kashmir just got punished by both of them in the middle, really. But it's not a religious issue in any way whatsoever. We may have a majority of Muslims there, but we've got a majority of Muslims there. That's all it is.
I will add one other point. Being Kashmiris, and we talk about what is happening, the conflict, and we talk about Pakistan, we talk about India. Now, one thing I want to put the message across is, our struggle and our ideology should not be a sign of betrayal for Pakistan or for India, particularly, us Kashmiris, because I have family, I have loved ones living in Pakistan. I have no hate for Pakistan. In fact, you look at the Kashmiri community in the UK, particularly where observe them. What do they love the most? There are two things. One is cricket. Pakistan, a lot of disappointed Kashmiris out there, but in the evening they're probably watching a Bollywood movie. Indian. So, where is this hate that people talk about? We, people on the ground, should really work together. It's not about religion, it's not about ethnicity, it's about Kashmir, it's about land, it's our right as human beings to make that decision as to what we want to do.
I want to, I'll have a caller on the line again, we'll take the call and then continue. Assalamu alaikum, good evening, who do we have?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, so what's your name, sir?
My name is Baljinder from Leicester.
Welcome, Baljinder Sahab. What would you like to say?
Yeah. I'm listening to your program about all Kashmir and India and Pakistan and all that, right? We come from one place. Have not you guys learned anything? What the Western forces are trying to do? What they've done in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Libya? This is all the Western outside influence which is trying to destroy our country. When are you going to learn this?
Thank you very much, Baljinder Sahab. We'll take your question. Kasser Sahab, please.
I completely agree with this caller. But I don't know why he's blaming us.
When he says you, I don't think he's blaming us per se. I think it's the whole Indian Pakistan subcontinent.
We didn't do the separation. Okay, we didn't split up these countries. We know how they were split up. But we are in this situation now. We know the Western powers are controlling all this, and I completely agree with Mr. Baljinder. And we could go on for this as theories and etc. for whatever. But the point is still that we are in this situation. And you know, I was born in this country, but I still have love for my country. And you know, I go there nearly every year, every couple of years. From a young age, this is what my dad's taught me, and I love Kashmir, I love Kotli, I love the mountains, I love where I've come from. And which is why
just
my
to pick
heart
up on that point, just one second, because you've said you go there every year. Sorry, if I may, because you've said you go there every year. Something that's came to mind. One of the callers was mentioning that the fact that the Kashmiris have accepted the Pakistani passport, and therefore, according to this caller, you've accepted the nationality of Pakistan. Now, I'm sure you're going to tell me that you travel on your British passport.
Can I make a point to that?
I'm sure he's got a red passport. I'm sure he's very happy because of it.
Can I make a point?
Now, I was born here, so I automatically got my British passport.
Yeah.
And if I was in Pakistan, I'd have a Pakistani passport. If I was in Kashmir and they allowed a Kashmiri passport, I'd have that.
Precisely.
You know, if I'm a nationality of that country,
so given
I
the
would
choice,
have that passport.
given the choice, you would have a Kashmiri passport and a British passport as a dual national, rather than a Pakistani passport.
No, I wouldn't have a dual nationality.
Right.
I'm British. I was born here. I would have a British passport.
You would have a British passport.
I'll just like to add one point to that.
Yes.
Now, I may need to be corrected on this, but my understanding is that the paperwork, the green passport or the ID card, or whether it's in Indian occupied Kashmir or Pakistani occupied, is actually funded by the United Nations, in that they get funds for providing you the document. Yeah, how much do you feel part of that now? All of a sudden, right, you carry this passport with you, but you know what? From what I understand, again, I stand to be corrected, but what I understand, the United Nations actually pays both countries to provide the traveling documents, because it is a distributed territory. So therefore, right, it cannot have an official documents to travel. So therefore,
well, we have some very learned people who watch our show, and
I hope they can correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm sure somebody will ring in and confirm that fact. If so, we have Mr. Ali on the line. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening to you, Mr. Ali.
Assalamu alaikum ji.
Wa alaikum salam.
My basic question is that Kashmir belongs to all the Kashmiris, whether they're Hindus, Sikhs, or Muslims. And we shouldn't be sort of portraying ourselves as separatists between ourselves in order to achieve our objective. But also, the Kashmiris are missing out in development, and so is India and Pakistan as well. Because if there's peace between the two powers, the main powers, then there would be development of economic for all the citizens of the India-Pakistan nations. You know, I mean, I'm in favor of one state, which is all Kashmir, independent from India and Pakistan.
Okay.
Without any grievances to Pakistan or India.
So basically what you're saying is Kashmir, again, you're reiterating the fact that it should be an independent state, left with its own government and to govern its own people and use its own resources as it sees best as an independent state. Thank you very much, Alisa, for your call. Gentlemen, perhaps you'd like to, we'll start off with Kasser again, to discuss what Mr. Ali has spoken to us on the phone.
I will let Mr. Ishtiaq answer.
Okay, all right. Kasser's being kind to you and holding his emotions back.
I totally agree with what the gentleman said. I think there's absolutely no doubt in the analogy and the observation of what was just said. You've got to remember, like I said, nearly 500,000 army personnel on the LOC, 700,000 to 1 million on the other side. Imagine all that money that has been spent
being
on this,
wasted on them.
GDP and so on, and that could be given to the poor. I mean, you know, you see this wonderful picture of India.
I suppose the classic. Ali mentioned the development side of it.
Yeah, I was not just mentioning it. Now, if you look at what has happened with India for the past 10 years, and you see this progression, you see India is going in this wonderful direction, whereas Pakistan is going the other direction, and it's quite sort of disappointing to see that. But the reality of it is that, you know, it's only 20% of India is going in that direction. What about the other 80%?
Absolutely.
You know, you see Bombay, you see Delhi, you see
IPL.
You
have the slums.
There's more slums than
So
the point there is absolutely 100% right. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, first step we should be looking forward to is that we need to remove the LOC. Yeah, that division. That is something that we have to work towards as a united front. Okay, and then move forward on that.
Okay.
Can we get back to our topic
Right.
as to what the youth Kashmiri youth and the parties that we have.
I'm sure you're dying to tell me more, so please, the floor is yours.
You know, at the moment, at the start when I was young, the first meeting that I went to, I was 9 years old, and it was JKLF, and it's, you know, I joined it with my father, and I went to every single meeting for about 15 years. But at the moment, there are so many groups, so many, and apparently they're all fighting for the same cause. They're all fighting for independence, one way or another. And that would be confusing for anyone, let alone a youth that was born in this country that hasn't even been told by their parents that they're Kashmiri, because they always went to Pakistan.
Yes.
You know, they always told their school they're going to Pakistan for holiday, not to Kashmir for holiday. You know, so these things subconsciously in a child is raised knowing it comes from Pakistan. They don't even hear about Kashmir. Kashmir, they think of it as a part of Pakistan. They don't think of it as an independent country. It may be occupied. That's only if your learned parents will teach you this.
I mean, that's because they say, you know, at the end of the day, right, they will consider what they see as, you know, being part of Pakistan, because that's all they know.
That's all they know. Okay. I'll just ask you, gentlemen, because we've unfortunately run out of time, your very final thoughts. Ishtiaq's up first.
Here's the camera. I would like to appeal to all the Kashmiris out there. You know, if you have something to contribute, please contribute. Now, I'm a member of the Kashmir National Party, and we are a new party, and we would like people to join. So, you know, go on Facebook, go on Google, internet us, and, you know, make a contribution.
The only thing I would like to say to all the youth is, you know, just realize where you're from. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad to say that you're Pakistani, but, you know, if you're from Mirpur or you're from Dadial or, you know, you're from these areas, you're not from Pakistan. You're from Kashmir. You're Kashmiri, your forefathers are Kashmiri, their forefathers are Kashmiri, and for thousands, we have a history, thousands and thousands of years old, with multicultural artifacts and historical things that, you know, is just amazing. So just realize you are Kashmiri. So when you write down your ethnicity, don't write anything else down. Write down Kashmiri.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for taking part tonight. It's been a very refreshing hour listening to your views, and I appreciate your concerns about Kashmir, and I hope to have you on the show some other time as well, perhaps, to discuss this in future. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, as I say, the hour is a very, very short period of time, and inevitably it always ends on us in a very unstable position when we're talking about the particular topic. We will be back inshallah next week. As you've learned tonight, there is a role, certainly according to my guess, that the British-born Kashmiris can play with the struggle for the independence for Kashmir. Again, I'd just like to reiterate that, as we had a few callers saying that it's something based on religion, it is not. It has always been a secular society that has inhabited Kashmir, and that is the way forward that almost everybody asking for independence of Kashmir would like to see it. It doesn't matter whether you're black, brown, blue, Indian origin Kashmiri or Pakistani origin Kashmiri, you will want to be Kashmir as an independent state and a pure and proud Kashmiri, not having to say anything about traveling on Indian documents or Pakistani documents. Once again, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and keep watching Venus TV and keep watching Speaker's Corner. We shall see you next week. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to you.